In this video, we're going to demonstrate the Marksmanship Hunter's single target and AoE strategies. Before we dive into our single target strategy, let's briefly talk about your misdirection ability. The way misdirection works is you cast it on your tank in your party. Anytime you attack a target while the misdirection buff is active, it will redirect the threat of your attacks to the misdirected target. The most appropriate way to use this is to misdirect your tank, and then when the tank pulls, allow him to pull, and then you can, as soon as he starts to attack, you can go ahead and start attacking. It's usually not kosher to use misdirection as an excuse to pull for the tank, though. Let's begin by talking about the single target opener. Now this is actually broken into 3 separate phases. Let's start with the first phase. As you can see right now, it consists of 5 steps. On the first step, we're going to cast misdirection on our tank. On step 2, we'll apply a hunter's mark to the current target. On step 3, we'll send our pet in with the /pet attack command. On step 4, we'll apply our serpent sting. And on step 5, we'll cast Chimera Shot. Let's move on to our single target burn phase. We start off by casting rapid fire. Right after we do, we'll repeatedly spam steady shot until we have nearly full focus. Once we do, we will then cast 2 aimed shots. On step 10, we will then go back to spamming steady shot until we have either full focus or nearly full focus, after which we will then cast 1 aimed shot followed by Chimera Shot. Right after you finish your Chimera Shot, your rapid fire buff should be pretty close to expiring. Let's move on to the third phase. All this really amounts to is simply casting Readiness, which resets the cooldowns on all of your hunter abilities, and then going back into a single target burn phase, up at step 6. So again, you'll go back to casting rapid fire, spamming steady shot till you have full focus, casting 2 more aim shots, going back to spamming steady shot again till you have full focus, and then casting 1 aim shot followed by one Chimera Shot. Let's move on to the remaining guidelines for the single target strategy. You can see that they are listed out in a series of bullets. Let's start at the very top bullet. This bullet recommends that we use the following rotation priority list. At the very top of the list, we're going to be casting steady shot in order to build up to nearly 100% focus. After that, our next priority will be to cast as many aimed shots as possible. On step 3, our lowest priority in this algorithm is to cast Chimera Shot, but you'll only do so in order to refresh your existing serpent sting dot. Moving on to the next bullet, intelligently time your DPS cooldowns to maximize DPS. Now the 2 cooldowns that I'm referring to here are rapid fire and the other ability, Readiness. If you cast rapid fire lasts about 15 seconds. Now as soon as your rapid fire expires, you can then use Readiness followed by another rapid fire, because Readiness resets the cooldown on rapid fire. So you have a solid 30 seconds where you can really do some great DPS. Let's move on to the next bullet, which recommends we always keep our serpent sting dot up with Chimera Shot. Now in actual practice, when you're conducting this single target rotation, there might occasionally be cases where, because you're in the middle of, say, casting an aim shot, your serpent sting dot may fall off. In that case, it's not a real big deal. Just get the serpent sting back up with an actual serpent sting cast. Let's move on to our next bullet, which recommends that we always keep our misdirection active on the tank. We did already discuss the importance of always utilizing misdirection. And let's move on to our final bullet that recommends that we only use arcane shot in rare cases where you have to keep moving. This happens sometimes when, for example, you're on a boss that drops a lot of AoE effects and you just can't stand in one place long enough to get your steady shot in or your aim shot in. In cases like that, it's okay to use arcane shot instead, because you can use it while running. Let's demonstrate the single target strategy on a target dummy. Before we do, I just want to point out that I am making use of my cat. This is a ferocity pet, which is the highest DPS class of pet that you have. Okay, just waiting on our cooldowns, so they're good to go. Send the pet in, Serpent Sting, Chimera Shot, Rapid Fire. Let's spam two to three steady shots. Okay, there's 2 to 3. There's 2 aim shots, followed by 4 steady shots. 2, 3, an aim shot followed by Chimera Shot. We're going to pop Readiness, Rapid Fire, go back to spamming Steady Shot, take advantage of our free aim shot, and then an aim shot followed by aim shot, 2 steady shots. Actually that was 3. Let's get our Chimera Shot back up, and then go back to spamming Steady Shot like this. Let's get let's get 1 aim shot. There's our Master Marksman proc. Chimera Shot, and from this point on it's just a matter of repeatedly spamming Steady Shot followed by an aim shot followed by Chimera Shot. Okay, we're spamming multiple steady shots, probably 4 or 5. Actually, let's get 1 more in, aim shot, Chimera Shot. This will be about 3 or 4, possibly 5 steady shots. Take advantage of our Master Marksman proc. 1 more steady shot, followed by aim shot, followed by Chimera Shot. And that is the gist of the single target strategy in a nutshell. Let's move on to the Marksmanship Hunter's AoE strategy. Let's begin by looking at the AoE opener. You can see the 3 steps for that. On step 1, we cast Misdirection on our tank. On step 2, we place an explosive trap, ideally in the center of the mobs. And on 3, we will apply our Hunter's Mark and then send our pet in. That will set the stage for the rest of the AoE strategy. You can see right now that there are a couple of bullets that constitute the AoE strategy. Let's start with the very first bullet. This bullet recommends that we alternate between spamming multi-shot when we have enough focus and steady shot in order to generate focus. Let's move on to the next bullet. Make sure to always keep your tank misdirected as much as possible. When you're spamming multi-shot, it's going to be hitting every target and doing a lot of damage, so you might pull aggro off the tank, so it's a good rule of thumb to just always keep your tank misdirected. There is one more thing that I'd like to point out that is relevant. It is our bombardment talent. As you recall from our talent discussion, the way this talent works is anytime your multi-shot crits, it makes your next multi-shot cost 50% less. So this is why, as you'll see here in our demonstration in a moment, that we can cast quite a few multi-shots. Let's now demonstrate the AoE strategy. We're going to start by dropping our explosive trap right in the center, send the pet in, and then start spamming multi-shot, as many as you can afford. As soon as we run out of focus, then we will cast 2 steady shots. That'll give us our haste buff and enough focus to spam more multi-shots like this. Same thing, go back with 2 steady shots, and then usually about 2 multi-shots. 2 steady shots, 2 multi-shots. Now, we may have a Master Marksman proc. If we do, it's okay to go ahead and take advantage of it because of the fact that aim shot just does so much damage. There it is right there. Now let's go back to spamming multi-shot. But I think you get the general idea of the AoE strategy. Now that we have covered the Marksmanship single target and AoE strategies, let's demonstrate how to play in the context of a 5-man heroic dungeon.